He has been one of the most respected defensive minds in the league. This is huge. From his peers around the league to players he coached then and now, they're rooting for him because he has earned this. Zimmer back in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1995 and very first time as a head coach. He sat down with Hannah Storm.
Case on a deep drop, steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side, caught by Diggs. Stay up! Oh my God! 30, 10, touchdown! Are you kidding me? It's a Minneapolis Miracle!
What was it like watching that from your perspective?
You know, there were so many ups and downs throughout the course of it. You know, 10 seconds left, and you're thinking, you know, we just got to make a play somehow. And, you know, you're thinking, okay, this could end our season. And then next thing you know, Diggs makes a great catch, and I'm yelling, get out of bounds. And I'm watching to see if he steps out of bounds, and he doesn't. And then I see him running down the sideline, and then it was like chaos. But, you know, hey, we deserve to win one of those.
For this hard luck fans in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the Vikings fans deserve it. You know, everybody says we have a curse and they go to 4 Super Bowls and can't win. And I just think it's about our time.
Now, I know you're superstitious, but you don't believe in curses, Steve.
Well, I don't believe in them, but I take precautions to not have them. Yeah, I've actually Googled how to break curses. You know, last year when all the things were going bad, I had my assistant get salt and put them in the 4 corners of the room and all this crazy stuff. And then this year, somebody sent me a carving, a wood spirit. They sent me a crystal ball, and I've got a Himalayan salt lamp. It's supposed to be good luck. So I just keep them in my office and hope for the best.
And I understand the legendary former coach here, Bud Grant, didn't he give you a lucky rock?
He did. He gave me a polished agate from Lake Superior, where he's from, and the little note said, what every coach could use, a lucky rock.
So apparently something's working.
Something's working. I'm not going to mess with it.
I know you talked to your players about the fact that you had been to an NFC Championship game in '94 when you were with the Cowboys, and again in '95, but not since. Why'd you tell them that?
Most people, when they get in the league, they come in there and they, you know, you're a rookie and you go there the first year and the second year and you think, oh, this is easy. We're going to go every year. And I want them to understand that this is an unbelievable moment, a great opportunity, and we need to take advantage of it now because it may not happen again for 22 more years. And, you know, for a lot of the players, they've never been to an NFC Championship game. They've never been to a Super Bowl. And we need to cherish the moment, but we also need to take advantage of this opportunity.
You've said that the fans here, you told me they deserve to win and win big. Why?
You know, they've been through so much. You look at the rivalry across the state line over there, and they've had success, and they continue to have success.
Packers, yeah. Are we not saying that name?
Well,
Do I?
You can say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah, those guys over there. But our fans are unbelievable. That crowd that we had in the divisional round last week was electric. They were so good, and they've been like that all year long. But for them to be able to say that they're world champions, that would be the greatest feeling in the world for me.
Wow, and if it could feel like a home game. But
yeah.
we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. What about the superstitions thing? Did you have it? Does that play a big part?
I never had a superstition, but I had a teammate of mine, Deion Sanders, had a superstition. And he would lay out his entire uniform. I'm talking from the headband on the ground to his shoulder, his jersey, his undershirts, the pants, the socks, the shoes. Lay it all on the ground like it was almost like a dead body, and no one could step over the top of it.
Was the shirt inside the jersey?
The shirt
like
was
that, like you got...
Yes. I'm talking the headbands and the socks. Everything was laid out on the floor. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's as superstitious as they get.
It worked.
And it worked. He did all right. One of the all-time greats, yeah.
Maybe everybody should try that.
Yeah.
What about the whole idea of a drought? You know, players change teams, and the fans have been waiting and waiting and waiting. But how much does it impact a player on the team, kind of understanding the fan base?
Well, I came to an understanding after we won the first championship in franchise history. I mean, the Cowboys have been winning them since the 70s. I mean, Darren got there, and they won their championships. They had already won their first. But I was a part of the first team, and to feel the parade, the millions of people. The first one was better than the third, I'm telling you that much right now. And there was a young woman that came up to me and really just hammered it home to me when she said this: my grandfather told me he can now die a happy man. And when I heard that, I really started to understand the passion about how much the people of New England wanted that first Super Bowl championship. So I can understand in Philadelphia and Minnesota, cities like that that haven't had their first championship of their football team, how desperately they want it.
And both fan bases, they're really so great.
They are.
And so deserving.
Yeah, they are. I know that Philly fan base has been riding me forever.
You
I know they
feel
want
it
it
as a visitor in those places when you play those teams also.
Okay, so let's touch on a coach who has ties to both teams. Pat Shurmur, you remember, was the Eagles offensive coordinator and then interim head coach after Chip Kelly was fired. And, of course, he is the current offensive coordinator in Minnesota. He's done amazing work there this season. Now a leading candidate for the vacant head coaching job of the New York Giants. For more on all the candidates still vying for the 5 open spots with the Giants, Lions, Colts, Cardinals, and Titans, let's bring Adam back in. So, Adam, all right, let's run through the latest coaching news, beginning with Shurmur.
Well, Susie, I think most people believe he's the likely choice of the New York Giants, who plan to interview him next week, whether the Vikings win or lose on Sunday. If the Vikings lose, that would enable the Giants to go hire him next week if they wanted. If the Vikings win, obviously it would just be a second interview where they can continue those talks aimed at making him the Giants' next head coach. Similar situation for the Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, who is likely to become the Detroit Lions' next head coach. Lions waiting to see what happens with Patricia after this weekend. But again, he is the favorite. He is likely to get that job. He is expected to become the next Detroit Lions head coach, working again with Lions general manager Bob Quinn. And the man working underneath Matt Patricia, Brian Flores, is in play in Arizona. The Cardinals are waiting to see whether or not Flores would be eligible for a second interview, but they do plan to talk to him again. He would be the natural successor to Patricia if Patricia leaves, but maybe Patricia and Flores both leave. And then, of course, Josh McDaniels also expected to leave from New England. He's likely to wind up in Indianapolis as the Indianapolis Colts head coach, working with Andrew Luck and Chris Ballard. Hard to think that a few years back, Colts and Patriots could be working together, but it looks like that's going to be the case with McDaniels in Indianapolis. And then, of course, John DeFilippo with the Philadelphia Eagles has interviewed with Arizona before. Contract up after the season, whenever the Eagles season ends. He was a finalist for the Bears head coaching job. Could be getting a second call back from the Arizona Cardinals. And then, of course, there's the situation with the Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, who was supposed to talk with the Giants. Didn't do that. We'll see whether the Arizona Cardinals would have any interest in talking to him or whether the Titans would as well once the Eagles season ends, whenever that is, Susie.
Wow, it's going to be a busy Monday for someone or all of them. A lot. Okay, coming up. If you loved tape-off, you'll want to stick around for the results. Plus, Blake Bortles hasn't turned the ball over in 3 straight games. We'll tell you how the Patriots defense plans to change that Sunday afternoon.
Pepsi's